Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Money Mondays. My name is Paul Johnson. I am the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG, and I am with,
Belinda Ray, Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG.
and today we have 14 minutes or less of some opportunities for you.
We do.
I think we're
Are
going
you
to back
seeing
up.
it?
Yeah, I think I have we're in Maine land.
You don't want to start there? Hold on.
No, I don't know what it is.
Beep, boop, beep. There we are.
We can go right to the next one. We'll jump right into it. Today I am pitching if you've not heard about it, the Municipal Innovation Day. Yay! It
Woo-hoo.
is on February 5th, which is like 2 weeks from now, I believe. It's coming right up. It is a full day. It is located downtown Portland at the Rue Institute. And I didn't even know the Cogs were co-sponsoring this, Belinda. So like when I was doing this morning, I was like, oh, we're like really involved in this. So it is a day where we come together to collaborate about, hey, how do we create efficiencies? What is working for us on a technological basis? Is there opportunities to regionalize certain activities? And it should be very exciting. And if you're in the audience and you haven't been to the Rue Institute, it's worth signing up for this alone to see what it's like to have like this little slice of like Boston in the middle of Portland, because it's a really exciting space and super modern, and it's you have to experience it to kind of understand it, which is pretty cool. So on to the next slide.
Sorry, I paused to see what the chat was. Nancy Martin is registered and she's looking forward to attending.
Nancy Martin goes to everything. Nancy Martin is everywhere. There's days I've seen Nancy Martin two different times. It doesn't make any sense in two different places. So I think there's two of her. So as I as I said, this is just a little blurb about it. Belinda, I got thinking while I was doing these slides. Maybe Money Monday should be a quick lightning talk, because there's like 5 minute
Oh,
lightning talks, right? And the other
yeah,
cogs are there, and we're the only cog
definitely.
doing this, right? So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we might want to share how successful Mondays has been. Some are saying it's the most successful money webinar in all of Maine. That, I
I've
don't.
heard that. I've also heard that.
I,
Yeah. I think you told me though.
I think.
So
Anyways, it's worth. Maybe we'll do it. So come join us. And as always, on the next slide, I have the link to going. It is an all-day event, but it's totally worth it. As Nancy Martin knows, I don't love these events. I am pretty picky about them, and I'm actually pretty excited about this one. So, hopefully, we'll see you there.
that is high praise indeed. I am going to talk today about the Land for Communities grant from the Maine Community Foundation. And this grant is relatively new. This is the second round, but first year, still in the first year. It came about because they closed two former grants to create this opportunity. The ones they closed were on the screen at the beginning of the webinar when they weren't supposed to be. Maine Land Protection Grant and Conservation for All Grant. And so what they did is they do a scan. Maine Community Foundation does this all the time. Look through, what do our grants look like? Who's getting them? Are they doing what we want them to do? And with these two in particular, they found they'd become highly competitive. And there's only a 20% success rate for applicants, which means people are doing a lot of work on both sides of this for not a lot of people getting something out of it. They said the grant programs and awards didn't always reflect what their current priorities are. As priorities change, they like to update their grants. So they reconfigured, got rid of these two, and started a new one aligned with recommendations from Maine Won't Wait and the First Light community. And that is where we get the Land for Communities grant. So like I said, the first round of this one opened in July with a September 15th deadline, but they haven't announced those winners yet. So we don't have any information about what worked, what was a successful grant at this point. So we're kind of, going by their guidelines and not having a who won to look at. This round just opened January 15th, has a deadline of March 16th. And what they're talking about with this one, they're saying that this grant is all about pathways to relationship to land. So they want to increase community access to land, increase community interaction with land. They want to reach underserved communities. And for this grant, they're defining it very broadly because they know it looks different throughout the state. So they have a pretty broad definition, and they're allowing a little wiggle room depending on where you are and who has access and who doesn't to land conservation. Eligible projects include things like community gardens. We have two beautiful ones here. One is a food garden in Yarmouth, and one is the Boyd Street Urban Farm in Portland, which is right down the road from my house. And what were they looking at? So it's a maximum of 25,000 or 50,000, depends what you plan to do with the money. We'll get to that in a second. Your project has to be located in Maine. It has to expand access for underserved geography or population. So geography, just think about looking at folks and who has access to land where they can grow food or where they can interact with the land. If there are kind of land conservation deserts, that would be an underserved geography. They want to engage people who are going to be served by the project in the design, delivery, evaluation, or leadership of the work. And the focus is on community use in these two very specific ways. You can do one or both. First one is land return. So it's acquiring land in order to return it to Wabanaki nations or Wabanaki-led organizations. The second one is land for food. So any way that you increase access to land for food, interaction with land for food. So whether it's hunting, fishing, wild harvesting, working farms, community agriculture, protecting working waterfront land, community fisheries, any of these would be eligible for the funding. The award size, like I said, it's 50,000 if you are trying to acquire land. And this can go toward any part of the process of acquiring land for either use. If you already have the land and you're looking to kind of start programming it and getting it working for you, increasing your community access, that one's up to 25,000. Municipalities, schools, tribal governments, 501c3s, public agencies working for the state are all eligible here. And if you are a group without 501c3 tax status, if you're trying to fit into that charitable group, you can apply with a fiscal sponsor that is an eligible organization, as described above. And they have information about the fiscal sponsorships, and that link is live right there. So again, key features, 25K is the top if you're looking to program or get infrastructure on your existing land, 50K if you're looking to acquire it. Special requirements here. So LLCs and for-profit businesses are not eligible. And this is important, project support grants can only include administrative overhead of up to 20% of your requested funding. So 20% of the funding you request can go toward overhead. Remember, you need to expand access for an underserved geography or population, and the land needs to be available for one of these very specific uses. So you can't just buy it and create a park. There needs to be some kind of food for land interaction going on there. The difficulty here, it's pretty easy grant. Once you're signed in on Maine Community Foundation, the portal walks you through the whole process. You don't miss anything. You won't leave out forms because they show you everything you need to do. Plain language. Deadline March 16th. And only one application per applicant per deadline. So if you are interested in this, here's another great example of what you could do with land. There's an orchard also kind of near my house up near East End School called Mountjoy Orchard, and they have trees and they grow kale and they grow all kinds of things. They have fruit trees and berries and rhubarb, and it's all for the community. So they did a community cider press recently where they took all their apples and pressed cider and people walked away with cider, which is pretty cool. There's a Zoom session you can watch to learn about this grant, the webpage, the FAQ, the online grant application and how to create an account. There's a link for that. And then I threw this on here because I thought it was interesting. The UMaine Cooperative Extension has a community garden map So you can kind of see what's out there, what's in your community. Do you have one? Could you use one? Pretty cool to see what's out there. If you want to apply and you have questions, the person to reach out to is Caitlin Barker. Her name is right there. And I think that is that. All set.
All
Mr.
right.
Johnson,
Super
any
excited
wise
stuff.
words?
Hmm?
And I always ask you at the end, any wise words?
I have no wise words today. I have no wise
Okay.
words. I
But
because
you
although my driveway is done, the rest of my house is not. So I am I will be
are
promptly
you talking
leaving Monday
indoors or
Monday.
outdoors?
What's that?
Indoors or outdoors, the rest of your house?
No, outdoors. Like
Oh, okay.
I have a lot of stairs and walkway shoveling to do.
Oh, I was a little afraid you needed a plow inside.
And my dog's about this big and the snow's about this big. So I need to,
Yes, you have to shovel for Walter. That's like the first
yes.
thing we do every time. But you know what? My dog goes out this back door and I opened it and there's like, it
Yeah,
was, yeah, had to like, oh, shoulder my way out there to get it clear.
exactly. So
All right. Well, good luck clearing all that snow, everybody. Enjoy it. And we will see you back here next week and then maybe at the Municipal Innovation Day as well.
definitely at the Municipal Innovation Day. And if it's money, then it's Mondays.
And if it's Monday, then it's money.
All right.
Bye.